full throttle high-speed pass.
That's not bad.
It's not slow.
I'm gonna do that in my next video.
Alright y'all, as you know, mine came as the ready-to-fly version, but if you got the plug-and-fly version, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to set it up on your own transmitter. I'll be using my IX20 because that's my favorite currently. I'm going to put this SPEKTRUM AR620 in there. There'll be links down in the description to the airplane and the gear so you know what you need, as well as the batteries. But everything is pretty well labeled: aileron, elevator, throttle, your mode switch, flaps, and the, I don't know if you can see that little yellow guy in there. That, I believe, is for your switching reverse. So once I get these plugged in, I will let you know what goes where. I mean, as you probably already know, but simple as just hooking them up as they're labeled. Be right back. Okay guys, here's the situation. The AR620 is bound up, so you can see here. Starting from channel 1 to 6, we got throttle, aileron, elevator. Rudder is this 3-wired one that's not labeled. Then your mode switch, which will be for your gyro system, and then your flaps will be on the end there. So now on mine, instead of a 2-position gear switch, which it goes into that, I mixed using the model setup in here. So my gyro system is going off this 3-position. So all the way up is off. There is gyro mode on, and here is the beginner mode. Solid light on the gyro box in here. You'll be able to tell what modes you're in there. So everything is bound up and good. If I had one more channel, I'd be able to run the reversing throttle, but I don't on this receiver, but most people don't need that anyway. It'd be a cool feature. If I had a 7-channel, then we'd be able to do it, or if we don't use flaps, we'd be able to do it as well. Yeah, so I did have to program the throttle or the ESC to my radio as well, because when I first turned it on, it beeped a lot. So once you get it bound, everything is good. Unplug your battery, full throttle, plug your battery back in. It did a couple beeps, then you lowered the throttle, and then it's good to go. Now it's really crisp right on the bottom there. Going the right way, gotta love it. Okay, let me get this mounted in here. And yeah, I'm probably just gonna Velcro it right onto the side in there. And then we'll put the wing on and test that everything else is going right there. Okay, I got the receiver tucked in here on the side. Now we can put the wing on, which I think is one of the cool options on this plane, is being able to take the wing off and on with 0 tools, guys. See, I got my struts hanging out here. So bottom of the wing, everything is labeled. Just plug it in. So here we have the flaps, which will go into the flaps. Ailerons obviously go where they gotta go. Make sure you get your wires color coded properly. And then tuck them in there. Now the bottom of the wing has kind of a little lowered to be raised, sticking up down off the wing, but that'll fit right into place, and boom, see how it popped in? Now we'll put the rubber bands on. Now we'll do the wing struts. Let me see if I can flip this over for you guys to make it easy to see. Okay, I think so. So, pop that out of there. That one goes there. This one goes here. I've got it upside down, so a little bit of the dihedral is kind of being pushed out, but you get it in place. Click, click. I wasn't doing it for the camera. You can do it in like 20 seconds. It takes nothing. But that's it. Wing is on, wing is secure. Plane technically is ready to fly. So, Let's turn it on and see what happens now that we have the wing on. I'm just using a big battery because that's all I've got charged right here. So you'll wait for your gyro to power up. Everything will twitch. There it goes. The receiver did its thing. Got my throttle cut down here. So we got no throttle. The aileron's going the right way. Flaps are working. Look at that, right out of the gate. I didn't have to reverse anything. Sweet. Throws look good. Everything looks pretty good. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I will double check the throws on the quick start manual here. But since I've already flown it, I know they look like they're about right. So here's my doodling, kind of a cheat sheet. I know a couple of my lines are off here because I'm not an artist. But, so this is the factory receiver that's in there. This is the AR620 and the order that things will go into that. It's really that simple, guys. Everything's working good. Throttle kill. I did flight modes on my flaps, as I always do, because then I can trim it in flight, but having flown this one already, I know you don't really need to trim much. So I'm pretty stoked. I can't wait to get this out and try it. The weather forecast here is not very good. It's really windy outside, so if it gives us a break, I'll go do another flight for you guys on the IX-20 on the SPEKTRUM setup. Otherwise, be sure you check out my other videos because I ring it out pretty hardcore on the ready to fly version as well. And upcoming in the future will be my son flying it, because trainer mode, you can jam the sticks in the corners. This plane doesn't stall. Like, this is the one plane for everybody. If you're learning to fly, this is a plane for you. If you're an expert, this is the plane for you. You'll see in one of my videos I'm doing low inverted passes, I'm doing loops and rolls, I'm doing hovering. This thing is sick. I can't wait to get some floats for it and try it off water. These guys killed it. Stuart, hobbyking, Durafly. Just amazing. Prime Tundra. Links down below in the description, guys. See you at the field. Okay, checking the elevator. Got this at hobbyking too. It's a pretty handy little tool. Just default 100% settings. It said 15 millimeters. It comes out at about 13 at 100%. Then I just do a couple rates, a little less each time, but I've flown this on full rates and I know it's good enough. Same kind of deal for the ailerons. Oh, I didn't lower that one yet, but I know high rates is good for me, and then I did one low rate. It's more than enough. Rudder, I just put a little expo in it, and we're good to go. Okay, aileron in the book calls for 8 to 15. Here's 100% throw, is 20. And then I did a little bit lower rate to 15. I know there's going to be good. You could do one more, a triple rate. Let's just do it while you're standing here. While you're standing here. Okay. So there's low, medium, high. Piece of cake. I do like this little tool. It's pretty cool. Okay, for fun, I'll show you how I do my modes.
Half flaps, full flaps, flaps up.
So do flight mode setup. My switch is D. With the SPEKTRUMs, you can just click that and it'll choose your switch. I named it flaps. Then you go over here to trim setup, and you can do your trim either as common or by flight mode. So by flight mode means every time you click that, the trim sticks with where this switch is. I do this on every model with flaps, guys. I'm going to do a dedicated video on how to do this one of these days. But so I'll give a couple clicks of up here, a couple clicks of down here, and nothing here. So you'll see the trimmer here for the elevator has down trim, up trim with flaps. It's probably backwards. I'm just clicking it for demonstration. And then full flaps is its own trim as well, which you could do. See? So let's just go ahead and undo that. Because I don't know without flying it where I'm going to have to be. I had to give it a little trim on the factory radio, but yeah. Simple as that. Again, I'll do another dedicated video on that, but I just wanted to show you guys some of my little tricks that I do to make things easier. There's no goofy mixing or anything you need to do. This plane doesn't need any, but it's just my go-to setup on everything that I do, right? Every plane. So basically you'll take off, you'll flick on flaps 1, you'll trim your radio out, flaps 2, full flaps, trim your radio out, and it's done. You're done for life. You don't have to land and try to remember how much elevator aileron to give something and do that goofy dance. So John VH tip for you there, boys. Okay guys, one last thing to check after you've got your throws and everything, or you're sure they're going the right way and whatever. Make sure the gyro's going the right way. It always has been for me on the stock radio and on my SPEKTRUM. But you know, you want to make sure first throws. So, like a normal gyro setup, you got to give it quarter throttle or whatever it is. You got to give it a little throttle before it initializes. Then I've got it in beginner mode. So if the nose is down, you'll see it wants to give up. If you guys can see the aileron there, it wants to level. So you want to make sure everything's going the right way on your setups. I know it's kind of hard to see there, but everything is good. Just wanted to throw that in there so we didn't forget, but everything's going the right way and should be a great experience again. Again, this is the one plane that fits all. Love it.